this life is a test. This life is finite. This life will end, and the hereafter comes. As same when when you do a test in school, right? You get so ready for it, you go through it, and then when you finish your exam, your test, you're done, right? And that relief in the hereafter is forever, okay, according to Islamic view. So if that is not clear, please let me know. But I'm not saying that God knows best or how. No, I'm saying that God is the most powerful. God is the most mighty. Okay, Al-Aziz, Al-Hakim. He knows everything. He can do everything. He is the irresistible. He is the watchful, the ever watchful. Okay, and many times He gives the parable of the that He will. He sends rain, and then he brings back to life the earth that was dead. Okay, and those are signs for people to understand why. Because the earth is like our composition; it's carbon, right? And then it rises up again, produces fruits, and it's life again, right? So it always gives that parable for us to understand when we think about it, right? Why earth, and why we get put in earth when we're buried. You know what I mean? Why is that? Why we decompose in earth? Why not? We just evaporate, or right? So it makes that comparison. The parable is always with the earth, bringing life back once Allah brings the rain. So I hope that is clear, that Allah is infinite. He has power over everything, and He can bring us back even to the tips. He can reconstruct the tips or the fingerprints. Okay. So inshallah, I hope that really answers your question. The third question, I will actually leave that for the end. I will cover the topic of women covering versus men not covering. Women in Islam cover because God told them to do so. Okay, if you really believe in God, or you believe whatever book or whoever believes in this Creator fully, believes with proof. We have proof because the Quran says know that there is no God except Allah. Not believe that there is no God except Allah. No, okay. Knowledge brings you to faith, increase your faith, right? So in Islam, there's always the proof. So, if these women know that Allah exists and they know that the Quran is from Allah, and the Quran asks them, okay, to cover themselves, then they obey that, right? Also for men, they should be modest, right? And I'll get to the other part. So, they obey Allah, and also men should also cover. Okay, men should not cover with hijab, okay, because it's not the same. Men and women are not created the same. They are equal in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? Because Allah says that. But men and women are not created equal. I cannot give birth. I can never imagine. I don't know. Women are just different than men. Sometimes at some things they're totally better. Punctuality, for example. I'm sure all the guys would agree to that. Their patience with husbands, like my wife, the patience that she has, like, it's amazing. The mothers' patience that they have with the children. Fathers will lose they just get mad right away, or they can't deal like the way a mother deals with. That doesn't make a man less than a woman, or a woman less than a man. They're just created differently. And even in our society, you don't find women and men in the Olympics competing together. Even our society supposedly claims equality on everything, which is I don't agree with, because we are not equally created. So how can we have equality in everything, right? This is my humble and I'm very honest about it. I believe that women and men are equal in the eyes of God, right? In terms of rights, in terms of everything. When it comes to, for example, making a woman, lift 300 pounds, cardboards and move him into, the job that a man would have to do, I would say, man, that's cowardice on behalf of the men. You have no, chivalry is dead. Okay, that's what I would say. When they make women do whatever, things that a man should do, okay, because he has the power, he was created that way, then I'll be like, that's just not right for men to ask women to do that. That's disrespect towards the women, okay. So that's my stand when I say that women and men are not equal, okay, because they're not equally created. Man, I can't even imagine how a woman can give birth, how strong she has to be. I'm weaker than that woman, than any woman when it comes to that, okay. So that's the stand when it comes to that. When it comes to men covering, men should cover. Okay, so but men are not equally attractive as women. When we as men look at women, Okay, according to psychology, men are more visually stimulated than women. Okay, more visually stimulated than women. So women cover their body parts because men are attracted to women's body parts. Some women are attracted to men's body parts. Okay, right? Some body parts. Okay, guys like women's ankles and feet and even their hands and their hair. Okay, but women like more maybe like the private parts of guys. So that's where the private parts of guys are covered. The actual aura, it's called in Arabic. That's for men are different than the aura that's for women. Okay, and men should absorb a modest dress. The ones that you see on the street showing off and this and that, well, that's their problem. Islam is not what Muslims do. Islam is what Islam is in its pure form, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed. So that's the answer for that. And every man should dress modestly and cover. And that's why you see a lot of, like, for example, from a lot of the Arab countries and not Western countries, they wear the thobe, the long dress that the man wears. Okay. So I hope that answers that. Now, I guess a very important issue is the wife beating. Okay, and wife beating in the Quran. I would search the verse. I think it's Surah 4. Quran. I will just give you the verse right now. Okay. Okay. Alright, so wife beating, it's the verse, okay, Surah 4, I think it's Surah Nisa, 34 to 36. So it starts, men are the protectors and maintainers of women because Allah has given the one more strength than the other, and because they support from them from their means. Therefore the righteous women are devoutly obedient and guard in their husband's absence while Allah would have them guard. Okay, so it talks about women and men, their roles, okay. As to those women, okay, those women. So it's a certain amount of women. It's not like, okay, it's like wife beating is permitted in Islam. It's not permitted in Islam. No, it talks about certain women, okay. As for those women on whose parts you fear disloyalty and ill conduct, okay, disloyalty means cheating. They're going around doing stuff, stripping, cheating on you, going with men, not taking care of things, doing, all kinds of bad things, doing drugs, blah, blah, all these kind of things, okay? Admonish them first, okay? So tell them. Okay, tell them. So that's the first option, okay? So it's not like, okay, here are all the wives in the Muslim world, okay, you're allowed to beat them. Meaning like, okay, I'm going home today, let me give my wife a good beating because Islam tells me I can beat my wife. Doesn't say that. So we have to use the proper logic, okay? Because Islam doesn't allow wife beating. Okay, wife beating meaning you're beating all your wives. Anyone can beat their wife, no problem. Go ahead.